Afternoon, this Sunday afternoon. Ochulio Kutepa is my name, and I'm excited to speak to you. You know, a lot of questions have been asked us, and sometimes I just feel it's not enough to just answer the person privately, but to try to put out the message out there for somebody else who may be going through the same kind of stuff. So I'm going to address a very simple question this afternoon. All right, I've got questions, especially from ladies who get in relationship with people who come to the point where they are no longer responsive. You're doing all the calling, you're doing all the checking on. The whole responsibility of the relationship somehow ends up at your table, and you're wondering what's going on. And it looks like every time he reaches out to you, he's actually doing you a favor, and you're extremely bothered because you really don't know what else to do. Now, here's what I'm going to say about this: that commitment is a very responsive thing. Relationship is not what you assume. Anytime you fall into assumption, the relationship is gone. So relationship is also not what you leave to chance or what you leave to guesswork. The moment you begin to guess about it, it's most likely the commitment is gone and the person has moved on. Because for a lot of people, you're in relationship with people who have moved on, who have left you, who are in essence not with you. Some of them are finding it difficult to break up with you or actually announce their decision that they are off or they are no longer interested in you. Some of them have moved on to other people. Now, when things drastically or slowly change, for me, it causes is good reason to be bothered, you know. And if you cannot have a decent conversation to say, you know, what's going on, if you can't have a conversation about the state of your relationship, the health of your relationship, or the direction of your relationship, then there's a big problem. You know, these are issues that you must be able to address. So if things have drastically changed, you're calling before you talk, or people who couldn't stay without talking to you every day in the past now can go a week or two, a month, or consider your contact as disturbance, then there's a problem. There's a big problem. You know, what happens to a lot of people is that we then are so emotionally drawn into it. We're scared to move on. We're afraid to take the decision. We know what it is in essence, but we're afraid to confront it. That's the wrong thing to do. That's how to perpetuate yourself in a relationship you should not be in, or to perpetuate yourself in a dysfunction. So what I think you should do at that kind of time is to have an honest conversation. I mean, you need to have an honest conversation. You need to ask the person. Ask the question you're afraid to ask. Because very often what happens is because we're afraid to ask the question, we now live in our fear. The relationship is really not going anywhere. We know that. The relationship is not taking us to the destination we hope it takes us. We're emotionally tied down to what is destructive to our destiny. And that's absolutely bad. So you need to be able to sit the gentleman or the lady down, because it also happens the other way, and say, you know what exactly is going on here? And you know, one of the things I suggest you do when it becomes apparent that you need answers is to make it very clear. Look, it may hurt while you're doing this, it may really hurt, but you need to be able to say, if you're not interested in me, I'll be ready to move on. That's the truth. You know, a lot of people when confronted with that will have to say the truth. You know, I've seen too many relationships break up where the other person gets in relationship with another person but does not have the boldness to break your relationship. Some people even begin to set you up to break the relationship so that it's not their fault. That's all rubbish. So what am I talking about this afternoon? I'm simply saying, if you look at the conduct of the person involved and the conduct is sending you signals, you need to have conversation to clarify what those signals are. Don't just walk in the assumption, but don't be afraid of clarifying the assumption. You need to sit down and have an honest conversation, because the more you assume, you know, you get yourself into crisis. Then the other thing that happens, sometimes we even get to confirm that this gentleman or lady are kind of getting involved or involved with another person. We're afraid to confront that fact, so we begin to fight a battle. No. God did not initiate, orchestrate, or arrange any relationship for you to be struggling for them. I mean, battling for their attention, battling to be the winner, like it's some kind of war. Anybody who cannot choose you and forsake all others cannot give you the life that God wants. And the truth is, eventually what's going to happen is you're going to have a situation where you begin to fight for them, contend with people, contend with other people, trying to be the one. Let me tell you something. You have moved into absolute dysfunction the moment you get into a relationship that requires you're fighting for their attention, their emotion, or their best. Whoever is the person they are giving that best attention, they should go on with that person. It's not do or die. Nobody comes into your life and must be the one. Because if you come into my life and you fail to acquit yourself as the one, You deserve to go. Life is a very long process. You know, I say to people, I've been married for 9 years, this year to be 10 in December, and it's a lot of work. These 9 years looks like forever already. It looks like eternity. It's a lot of work. So why should I get involved with the person from the word go and we're already struggling? That's a problem. So what are the signs of a healthy relationship that should take you somewhere? When attention is zeroed in on you. When they can learn to forsake all others. I'm not saying emotions will move sometimes, sometimes you just run into people and it looks like, whoa, this is what I haven't seen in my person and all of that. Relationships that thrive are relationships that in the process the people learn to forsake others and continually choose themselves. Very simple. I mean, it's not rock science, it's not hard maths to solve. So if somebody cannot come to the point where they can continually choose you, if they cannot come to the point where they can forsake all others, if they have not come to the point where they can stay consistently with you, there's no future. Because this is a future game, it's not an emotional game. Because the emotions will soon dwindle, fickle. Somebody said that emotions are like basket can't hold water. Yeah, that's the truth, because commitment is what sustains emotion. It's not emotion that sustains commitment. So that emotions in the future, in marriage, and after years and years, and through the years, is actually sustained by the commitment, which renews it. So if somebody's already showing that they're not committed, or they can just walk away, get involved with somebody else, not be serious with you, or play the game of uncertainty with you, or be neither here nor there. And some of them actually play this game, they get involved with other people, then they just want to take you to mama because, or take you home because you're the one that's been taken to mama, you're the one people know, so they want to have their liberties, but just end up marrying you. That's disaster in itself. Relationships should be able to demonstrate and show that their commitment is not just because they want to get married. Their commitment is not just because they want to appear consistent. Their commitment is not just because you are the one who has been there for long. Their commitment is not just because they are struggling, not knowing how to break it because church people know you, other people know you. No. That's not the basis of their commitment. So if you have a relationship that shows all of that sign, that this person is really pulled back from you commitment-wise, emotionally, and all of that. Face your reality. Don't deny your reality. Don't run away from your reality. It's your reality. If it's working, it's working. If it's not working, it's not working. And the person who can define it, if it's working or not, is you. So please, I beg you, don't remain in a dysfunction, keeping quiet, crying at night. If a relationship is making you weep, I wonder what marriage will do to you. As simple as that. I mean, that may be a harsh line to throw at you, but I repeat, if a relationship is making you doubt yourself, doubt your worth, make you weep, make you cry, make you go through seasons that are hard, make you question everything about life and existence, then I think you're in the wrong relationship. So I just encourage you, be sure at all times that your relationships are defined. Be sure at all times that your relationships are definable. Be sure at all times that you are able to give definition to your relationship. And whenever you're in doubt, you should have a conversation. And if you cannot have an honest conversation about where you stand, then you're already in a dysfunctional relationship. And you may have to prayerfully reconsider whether that's where to be. God bless you.